weeks now. I didn't realize how important they were until I finally started thinking about them. And let me tell you, I thought about everything else, not knee squats, for many, I'd say years. I thought about, but more recently, for the past over a year, when I suffered from my knee pain, I just, I never figured it out. I just tried everything else that was coming to mind because that's what happens. I think of everything else that doesn't work before I think of actually the thing that does work. But I will say that I did believe, and I knew for a long time, that doing the leg suspensions, the leg extension exercise at the gym, I knew that would do something positive for my knees. But I never really thought about how that could be replicated outside of the gym. All I could think was I needed that gym membership to fix the knee. That was it. There was a lack of leg extension, which is not a cheap piece of equipment either. I mean, there's a complicated piece of equipment there, and cumbersome, and only the gyms could really hold something like that machine. It's not something that you just buy for your house. Not something, definitely not something I drive around in with in my car with. It's a machine that's very specific. You got to go to it. Only once did I see a leg extension machine that was in a park, like a public park, and it was bad. I didn't like it, but they attempted it at least. You sit there and just kick and kick, and just I'm amazed that for the longest time I couldn't think of that type of exercise. What is a natural movement that replicates that kick? And it took me a long time to realize that you just do knee squats, but a little bit more than just knee squats. Because body weight's not enough. And I got rid of my 45-pound plates, so that's not something I can't just hold the 45s anymore to do knee squats, which is fine. I was kind of desiring those 45s last night a little bit. I wanted to hold them, just stand there and hold my 45s, just weigh myself down, weigh my hands down, the full almost 100 pounds, full 90 pounds. It feels good sometimes to just stand and hold that kind of weight, but it's no longer. When I get that desire, I don't know exactly what to do. I uh, I gotta find alternatives to that. There's no way I can carry 45s in my car. I can't weigh my car down like that anymore. Um, I'm thinking maybe I could lift the picnic table or something. Get some kind of weight bearing exercise that I can really get into. A nice weight bearing exercise. I desire to do that every so often. Not every day. I tried to do it every day, and it doesn't work out for me. It's not something that's enjoyable to do every day, especially when I don't like counter that type of exercise with the balance. I don't counterbalance that type. Weighing myself down and not doing anything else is not a long-term strategy. There's people who are like acting as though kettlebells are all they need. There's like the perfect exercise, the front swing with the kettlebell. It's all you need in life. That one movement, and it's pretty strict. It's pretty it's almost machine-like. It's pretty limited. I think these people like me get excited about that kind of exercise early on, and then just a couple of weeks in, you're like noticing the side effects of doing that too much and not enough of the complementary exercises that counteracts the overwork of those particular muscles. And I'm trying to overwork my muscles with the stick exercises, and I'm not quite getting to that point yet. I overworked my muscles just doing the walking stick exercises. I did that a lot, and started getting problems with that. and so and so I abandoned stick walking now. But I'll keep one stick with me, and that'll be for like hard terrain stuff, hilly terrain with very uneven footing surface. So that's that's the stick walking for me. It's no longer useful for flat lengths of ground to cover. I just do that with my own 2 feet. I don't need my hands to support me. In fact, with my stick, I'm doing a lot more balancing exercises. I'm pretty happy with the hip exercises, the balance exercises with the stick. Doing a lot more of that than I normally would have before the sticks. Introducing sticks into my life was something that is really nice. But I introduced them a little too hardcore. I think that the sticks have maybe contributed to my burping problem a little bit. Overdoing that, tightening up the diaphragm, and letting the middle back go weak. It's a strength imbalance, mechanical issues. There's different factors: stress, and then stick walking. Stressful stick walking. There's a cat in the parking lot. But yeah, I really enjoy doing the knee squats, and it took a while to get to that point. I actually invented my squat strap, and I was actually thinking about just totally abandoning that. I've practically totally abandoned the suspension training. I've abandoned a lot of exercises that I was excited about for a while, for a long time, trying to force that exercise in different ways, trying to find ways to find motivation to do it every day. Time and time again, I abandon these ideas. And the strap squat exercises, they were just too much of one type of exercise. Just holding myself in the squat position, resisting against the strap. And I was getting back problems from that. I didn't really like how it was pushing down on my back. That was a downside to it. I like the leg exercise part of it. That was nice. But the whole time when I invented the strap squat back in 2015, 2014, I was doing it and enjoying it. But, I mean, geez, it's almost been 10 years. And I never thought about doing knee squats to complement that as well. And I could actually I just learned just yesterday. I kept the strap squat on my feet and all that, just in the same position, and I just get on my knees and starting the squat. and I notice I'm working my middle to upper back. I was actually, and I kind of want to tighten it up. But I'm like, let me do this squat with the strap squat on. And I learned that let me do the knee squats with the strap squat on. And I learned that I do get resistance. And I've never tried that before. All the years I've had it, so I've turned to it and I've abandoned it off and on, simply because it's not ideal for my back. I didn't quite like all the pulls. Oh, it's up here. And I get on my knees and start doing the squat with the strap squat, and I notice I get the resistance that I like, a resistance I like in a different way. It's not just the up and down squats with standing on my feet. When I get on my knees, it's a different kind of squat. It works the back a little bit better. The part of the back that I strain while squatting on my feet. So I strain the muscles that I want to hit to complement the foot squats. And I got a big mess here. These are 3 pieces of it. Keep the neck exerciser to get with it. The strap squat. Also the strap the strap squat, because it also does both the feet and the knee. So I don't need to just call it. I was calling it the twerk strap for a while, but it could just be called the strap squat, and it could be used for both the knee and the feet. But I got the neck thing attached, and then the knee squat thing. And I was really getting into just the strap to put around my knees only. This little kind of a little strap just around my knees. This was actually like a handle for me with my strap squat. I got it off, I took it off, and just designated it as the knee squat. It's a little more stealthy knee squat resistance, which I like. I could do it at the library. I'm actually able to do pretty decent exercises at the library now, just by getting on my knees. But I've had this neck exerciser for a while. It's off and on with this thing. Just put it on my head and see. I took some time sewing this thing together. I don't like the yellow color, but when you get free straps, it's all I got. And yeah, I just resist against the, my hands pretty much. I don't have any weights. And that's nice. Just sit here and resist against, my hands is good. I don't use it a whole lot. I could use it more, because it does help. But when I turn to laying on my back for exercise and driving my head into the ground and my wrists into the ground, that's a good neck exercise itself. And so I was turning to that and away from this. But I mean, the neck strap does work when I don't want to lay down. Sometimes I just don't want to lay down. I want to stand up and exercise. Sometimes I want to lay down and exercise. Sometimes I want to get on my knees and exercise. I can't just decide on one. I can't just decide on one thing. I blame blood flow to that. It's like, oh, my blood flow feels like like I could use more blood to my head. Let me lay down and do some exercises. Or, oh, hey, I got enough blood flow to the brain. Feels comfortable enough. I'm happy with being on my feet. It's back and forth, and a lot of it has to do with the blood flow issues. Sometimes it's, yeah, it's just how energy, maybe it's a partial energy flow and blood flow combination. But doing this strap squat, I was about to completely abandon it. Okay. And yeah, I just put it around the back of my head. And see, what it does is, as I'm resisting against it, it's resisting against my neck a little bit. And that's not always desirable, but depends on how the resistance is happening. It's uncomfortable when I'm on my feet, but it's not uncomfortable when I'm on my knees. So I really change up the angles when I change up my positioning. And to move to my knees now is nice. This strap squat isn't exactly something I can bring around with me wherever I go. The knee squat though I can. But that's only right now. I only got a few straps for the knee. I keep this in my pocket, but only in my winter jacket pockets for knee squats. It's exclusively knee squats. But I have this and others to do knee squats with. But it's like, well, this does make a difference. The knee squat strap does make a difference for knee squat resistance. Even when I'm using my strap squats, my foot squat, the foot squat one, the strap squats. I guess I'd call it a strap squat. Foot squat, strap squats, foot squat, strap squat, foot strap squat. I got my knee strap squat and my foot strap squat. And length has a lot to do with it. No, physical therapists are skinny little twerps telling me how to exercise. And they don't feel my knee pain. So they don't understand the kind of pains I go through. I took no painkillers for my knee pain because I was listening to my knees. Every time I wanted to take a higher step up on a hill and the pain shot through my leg. When I try to run across the street and my knees buckle, that's a joke. See, I'm living that joke. You know, you're getting old when your knees buckle and your belt doesn't. Well, my knees were buckling and my belt wasn't buckled. I don't even wear a belt. The stretchy pants are getting tighter. But my knees were buckling, and a lot of the reason that they were buckling is because of a lack of a particular exercise. I don't normally in my course of my life, the course of my day, I don't normally get on my knees. That's just something that doesn't happen, especially, you know, living in a car. I don't really have that opportunity to get on my knees. So it's a movement that I have to consciously do. And I prefer to do it in privacy, of course. I look for places to do it where there's nobody watching, especially when I want to put on the strap resistance, because people will really be looking at me weird, like I got some kind of fetish for tying myself up. But to resist, to have that resistance, you can't just do body weights. And like what I watched the knees over toes guy showing off his ideas on knee squats. He was trying to just only show body weight exercises. Just lean back further to give your legs more resistance. Well, just on 4chan the other day, like I think just yesterday, I was watching 4chan, And there's that knee squat units at the gyms. They don't, all gyms don't have them, but this one guy found one. He was holding a 45-pound plate. Oh, and it was horrible to watch, actually. Bob used to have knee pain. I was taught to tie a rope to a tree and do squat holding onto the rope. That eliminated stress. No, you're still standing on your feet, right? You want to take all stress off the bottom of your feet and put them on the top of your feet instead. You're kicking. Now I've tried that leaning back stuff. I had to actually get on my knees and lean back and put pressure on the top of my feet, not the bottom. We're putting pressure on the bottom of your feet does not fix knee pain. But yeah, I was watching knees over toes guy, and and then the 4chan guy. First time I ever seen it was yesterday. He had that bar under the back of his knees, and he leans back with holding a 45-pound plate. And when he got to the bottom and was about to start raising himself up, his knees like popped out of joint. It was disgusting. He took a video of himself on a sideways pose, leaning back with that 45, trying to show off how strong he was, and he popped his knees out of place. That's not a natural. That's not a normal machine that you really find in nature. It's not easy to replicate in nature. To secure your feet and then your knees so you can then lean back. I mean, he used a 45. He didn't look the most muscular, but yeah, he didn't do his knees any favor what he was doing. There's the way something gave in the knee, and nothing's gonna give the way I'm doing them, as I'm tying my feet. I'm tying. I got the strap around my waist or whatever, around my on my ankles, and then around my waist. It's easy to get into. Slip it, and I just get on my knees and just slide it on, and then I can't stand. I can't like raise myself up all the way, and it's I just resist against it until my legs get tired. Resist as hard as I want, and I'm finding that my knee pain is going away as a result. My kneecap still pops out of place or in the place, but I'm not getting the buckling. I'm not getting the pain so bad that I'm buckling. Walking up a hill, walking down a hill, even stairs, running, because I can't have that. I need mobility. I can't be getting handicapped by the pain while walking. To take away my mobility like that is a non-service to the quality of my life. I need to be able to be highly mobile. I need to be able to run at a moment's notice. Even at my older age, I still need to be very mobile on my feet for whatever reason. And what's helping my mobility is getting on my knees. It's something I never really did. Something I took for granted. Getting on my knees to fix my knees. No, the surface really matters a lot because, well, I can do it. I can do the knee squats on hard surface. It is uncomfortable. But I can do it in a pinch if I have a real strong need to get some leg exercise. I have kind of a need to get some exercise now, but I'm in a Walmart parking lot. I can kind of get away with doing the knee squats on the side of my car sometimes, but it depends on what's all over here. What's going on over over on the driver's side, and there's a little too much activity. You know, I fantasize about getting a bigger vehicle, just like a van that I could just go to the back and do some of them squats, get some more leg exercises. It's just only a fantasy for me. Be able to just exercise at a moment's notice inside a vehicle. But yeah, that's for people who can afford that stuff. I can step outside the car. I just need to get to places that are gonna allow me the privacy to do that. Walmart parking lots are not it, and I'm because of the so cold right now. It's got to the teens last night. Frost. I kept warm enough, but things froze in my car. Milk, water, things things froze all around me. I got frost on my windshield, but I kept warm enough at least. But the last night should be one of the last nights of a severe cold. I'm going further south today for some relief, and then I hope to have opportunity to show some knee squats versus feet squats with my strap squats. My invention that now I'm actually finding more pleasure from, and it's really amazing to me because I strengthen my legs, especially now that I'm incorporating a knee squat. My heart is feeling better. It's like my heart was skipping a beat too much in the past, and I think that was a weak leg skip. The heart skips a beat because of weak legs. Strengthen up them legs, and you don't skip the beat as much. You don't get that uncomfortable skip of the heartbeat. It's not a nutritional thing. Nutrition has something to do with it, but it's really a blood flow thing. If I'm not doing enough squats, then I'm not getting that deep blood flow. So I think that's also what kept me warm last night too, is I was doing some squats, knee squats and feet squats throughout the day with the strap resistance. And that helps with the blood flow to the feet. My feet felt great last night. I even had them a little exposed to the elements. They weren't completely covered by my blankets. But yeah, and it got to the teens, like I said. But yeah, I did the resistance squats. I noticed when I was younger, in my teens and stuff, I would handle the cold better than the middle parts of my life. And the difference really has to do with squatting, with exercising, not just upper body. You got to get that lower body. But I couldn't really figure out any decent lower body exercises that I enjoy. I enjoyed strap squats, but there just weren't enough by themselves. And you know, you can complement all of that too with the lunges. But with lunges, I'm up and down, and that draws attention to me, and I don't like that. I could do it next to my car a little bit, but my car's so short that people can see my head bobbing up and down. I was doing this one hip exercise the other day with my walking stick, and I hold on to the top of the walking stick and attach the bottom of the walking stick to the top of my foot. And so it looks like as I'm lifting and lowering my foot while doing the hip exercise, it looks like my hand is waving. All right, as I'm holding the stick, I'm kind of I'm doing this pumping motion while holding the stick and raising and lowering my feet. Well, once a lady like drove to me from a distance, like I think she might have wondered what the heck I was waving at, because that's what it looks like. I'm waving because I'm trying to also resist the hips with the stick, with holding the stick. But since my arm is so active, it's a weird exercise that people don't aren't used to seeing. Very rewarding exercise. But people aren't used to seeing that. So some lady like drove to me And just, I think it looked like a mother just checking me out and then drove away. And I mean, we're talking the lady drove into a dead end area that there's nothing there for it, you know, and I'm sure she knew because she drove from a neighborhood that's pretty established and then just left. When I do my weird exercises, I draw attention. People are and just do exercises in general. One of the more acceptable exercises is running, but I'm not really big into running, at least until I completely get rid of my knee pain. And it's more of a knee stiffness than a pain now these days, as I continue to try to work it out. And I realize new things that I can do that are exciting to me, different things that I can do that I enjoy. I want things that I can enjoy and they're easily accessible. I kind of enjoy suspension training, but that's not easily accessible. I really enjoy the stick exercises, and I continue to do them every day. Uh, it's hard to measure how strong I get, but I enjoy doing them, and I continue to do stick exercises. There's a lot of different choices to there's a lot of options I can do. So when I don't feel like doing one particular thing, I'll do another. But yeah, I do a lot of the cross stretching of my arms. I really enjoy that. And then the shoulder work. I like doing the shoulder work a lot. Things that if it's going to be enjoyable and it's not going to lead to pain, then I'm trying to bring out possible pain points. Like what I ask, what are the problems that can develop from overdoing these types of exercises? I'm trying to push that. I'm not there yet. And I'm trying to do it based on how motivated I am to do the exercises. I'm not trying to just go through the motions even if I don't like it. I go through the motions when I like doing it and and I try to push myself as best I can, but I'm not getting to the point where I'm finding I got side effects that are undesirable as a result. Side effects were undesirable from the just straight up doing stick walking. I really it took a few months, but I got to the point where I was having trouble breathing, and then it might have led to the burping issues too, and then all shoulder pains and various pains. So yes, good morning, cunt. Yeah, I'm just talking about how I love doing knee squats, and now I've discovered I can do more knee squats with strap squats. That goes over my neck, and I just realized it yesterday, and it's a revelation that is about 8 years in the making, because I invented the strap squat in 2014, a strap that I liked and I really wanted to promote, but I mean, I don't know how to promote stuff like that. But it was limited, and I gave up on it. I was excited, and it was off and on. It was like my back when I didn't feel like my back was gonna get affected as badly. I'd go back to it. But it's all a matter of how you look at things. And now I look at my strap squat as both a knee squat and a foot squats device, strap, resistance. It's like trying to put on tight clothes. You have clothes that are too tight and you're straining against them to get them on or whatever, trying to get your foot through the pant leg or something. And it's this strap I'm resisting against, and I have no problem resisting as hard as I want against it. And I can change up the type of resistance. And I want to say that it's also it's all very, let's see, there's the muscle work, and then there's also the hip. Let me just say there's the hip thrusting action too that is is also there. So it's more than just going through the movements. There's also a natural like feeling that comes out as a result of doing the knee squats, especially the resistant knee squats too. And that's something that really can get people motivated as well. You just don't go through the motions like doing a bicep curl. It's also just the full natural aspect of living as a human being with resistance. Whenever on demand, resistance on demand, and in a natural movement. You start your job on the 29th. Oh, I thought you've been working. I'm excited to have a gym membership. Don't get too excited. The gym doesn't really bring all the answers to your needs. I pushed my benching too much and developed shoulder injuries as a result. So you can push too much. So you want to do more pulling, but the pulling exercises they got there are mostly just straight forward and backward. You really want to have a nice outstretched arm to do them pulling exercises. And those type of machines are not. You want to have a good stick. They don't have sticks there. A nice 6-foot stick that you can really stretch your hands out on it. Take it slow. Well, I'm not saying take it slow. Go as hard as I mean. Going hard. If you got that rage, if you have a really angry day, you just want to let out your rage. You don't need to go. Don't keep that balled up inside. Don't try to limit yourself. That's why I like having exercise equipment with me everywhere I go, because when I get really full of rage, I could just pull out the exercise equipment, do the squats, do the stick, and just let it out. There's nothing to control. You don't control rage. You let out that energy in ways that are productive. You don't have to punch. You don't have to find somebody to punch. You could do, well, I guess you would kind of limit yourself with the types of exercises you do. You're like, I'm angry, so let's get some good muscle work in. Whatever it may be. You don't have to just do squats when you're angry. Do whatever, anything that gets the heart going. The weather got down to like the high teens. Everything froze around me. It was amazing. But I'm gonna get further south to warm up, and then hopefully show off some knee squat exercises. I've been thinking about that. Maybe record on my GoPro Fusion a little bit. Can you believe that this Walmart sells a Mavic Mini 2 for $450? That's amazing. And it says that it's 259 grams or 249 grams. I had no idea that the Mavic Mini 2 was 249 grams. I thought I thought the 3 got down to 249. I didn't realize the 2 was also a 249 grammer. But I can't. Apparently the remote control got an update. Now they can actually run the Mavic 2 Mini Pro. They just had, or when they first shipped out the remotes that you could only fly 2, and that was the Mavic 3 and the Mavic Mini 3 Pro. No, with the update you can fly the Mavic Mini 2 on the remote. That's tempting, but I barely fly my Mavic Mini 3 anyway. But yeah, there's exercises to complement the knee squats that I'm really getting into. All right, doing the crab. No, I was doing crab walks, and I found that I enjoyed crab walks, but the movement was not good because I go to areas that could draw attention to me. I like to, like in a library or something. The movement is no good. And it took me a while to really come to terms with sitting in place and just doing a table stand. But I don't just all I did on the table stand was just hold myself in place. That was it. and just see how long I could hold myself. And it took me a while, up until a couple of weeks ago, to realize that there's more to the table stand than I knew. And it does incorporate a bit of the crab walk, like tensioning that I didn't really think about. And now I'm enjoying the table stands more, which works the back of the knee, which complements the strength and balance of of the knee squats, of the foot squats. And that's it's hard to describe. And it's even hard to show because I'm sitting here trying to tense my back, I'm trying to bring my feet and my hands together as I'm on that table squat. That table squats? Could that be called the table stand, the table squat? It's almost like a squat. You just lean far back. And I'm trying to bring my hands and feet together and cause that tension. And it's an awesome tension that I brought out just a little bit with doing the crab walks. But it took me a while to realize that I need to do that. That's like a must. It's an absolute necessary thing to do that I didn't realize. All I was doing was just kind of holding myself up in the place of the table squats. But there's more to it than that. And that's also creating a further tension to bring my hands and feet together. And I like that now. I actually like that. I guess my complaint would be that whenever I'm on too slippery of a surface, I'll slip. My hands will slip, or even my feet will slip as I'm trying to tension them together in the table squat position. But I'm getting a really good tension doing that. I don't need to put any weights on my hips. I could do it anywhere, and well, I want a pretty good surface that's not going to slip. And a lot of library carpets tend to be a little too slippery, but I could do it a little bit at least, causing that tension, which puts more pressure on the back of the bicep femoris, the leg muscle, which works it better, and it also works the lower back a little bit. So I got kind of a routine going that but I can't use I can't use straps for the table stance. Do you have any jars hanging from the inside roof of your car? Yep, you can see them. Yeah, they're pretty. I've been recording them the whole time here. So yeah, I do the squats in various ways. There's a table stand, which is kind of a squat. There's the knee squat. There's the foot squat. There might be another one. There is the one-legged, the hip. What do you mean you won't ask why? Don't you want to have your anise ready to go whenever you feel like chewing on some? It's pretty nice to be able to have that. I actually cooked. I could actually find my fenugreek yesterday. To cook with my oatmeal. So that was nice. Yeah, maybe let's call a hand squat. There's no such thing as a butt squat. Let's call it like a hand squat where you're on your hands. Knee squats, feet squats, where you're just standing on your feet and doing the squat. There's different angles you could approach, and only a couple, the knee squats and the feet squat, only a couple I can use straps as resistance for. Yeah, you want to have fenugreek close at hand. I was at a Walmart in the clearance section, and they thought they could sell, it's in the clearance section. They thought they could sell a mother's milk lactation vitamin pill, a lactation pill, and it was fenugreek free. All they had, And the ingredients for this mother's milk lactation pill, all they had was anise and this stuff. So I could produce mother's milk with the it's another licorice, anise, whatever that's called, I forget. But they only had two ingredients, anise and this. And we'll actually know some Cortiopolis or something too. I can't think of it. I can't think of the name of this. So there's this mother's milk lactation that only had three ingredients. And on the front of the package, it said specifically it was fenugreek free for this mother's lactation vitamin thing. I'm like, I've never seen that before. I've never seen a sales pitch where they say, "Oh, we're fenugreek free." It's like, what's the big deal? Why do you got to keep the fenugreek out of it? I've read about how mothers can produce more milk with fenugreek, but they were selling it with anise and then yeah, I can't think of the other one. But whatever. I don't produce milk, but I mean, it can't be that bad for me. It's probably it goes elsewhere on the males. But I like fenugreek. I liked it last night. And let me just say, I consumed 2 nights ago. I consumed my oats, and I was stupid enough to try to toast the big oats. All right, the old-fashioned big oats. You don't toast big oats. You could toast the quick oats, but not the big ones, because they stuck in my gut. It was uncomfortable. But last night, I boiled the big oats with my fenugreek with some raisins. No problems. No problems cooking the big oats. And we're talking rolled oats. 5-minute oats. You just cook them for 5 minutes. And that is a drastic time save compared to real traditional oats, the whole oats that take like 30 minutes to cook. So rolling them takes 30 minutes down to 5 minutes. And then yeah, I got to cook these eggs. For some reason this Walmart doesn't sell free range, but I got to cook these, and it's warming up where I can. Yeah, I got to. And let me just say, I really enjoyed an onion. I just plopped the whole onion in with the eggs and boiled it all together. One whole onion. And I enjoyed chewing on that cooked onion with my eggs. It was an onion that was only good enough to cover 2 eggs. I'd eat a little bit of the eggs and a little bit of the onion. The egg yolks make the onions taste good. And bread tastes good. Toasted bread, you always scramble a dozen eggs and have half a loaf of bread with them. Yeah. Eggs go good with toast. But they also go good with cooked onion too. So I want to cook a couple of onions with my eggs, because they go good. They complement each other good. Eggs and onions. And then yeah, I'm out of bread, but I could go buy some bread to toast later. Because today's a Sunday, the libraries are closed. Get further south, look for a park to cook in, exercise in, do my nice knee squats with. Ketchup and salt are what I put on my eggs. Oh no. Yeah. I do. It's been a long time. Oh yeah, you can toast peanuts too. It's been a long time. I do tomato sauce with the eggs, but I was getting this burping problem. I kind of abandoned. I abandoned tomatoes for a little bit to see if I could solve my burping problem, but I can't. So maybe I'll bring tomatoes back in. Yeah, eggs with tomatoes are good. Yeah, for sure. Eggs with cooked onions, and I try eggs with cabbage sometimes, but it's not that great. I think the cabbage needs to be cooked. Need to cook the cabbage with the eggs too. But this pot's only so big. I can cook things together only so much. So yeah, but yeah, doing knee squats has been a real game changer for mobility for me. It starts to allow me to step up on picnic tables again and not buckle when I try to run. Not feel that pain that makes me buckle. I just I took it for granted for a long time. Bicycling is an intermediary knee fixer, but it's not enough because it's so limited. Bicycling is in between foot squats and knee squats. So it doesn't quite fix either one. And it's such a low impact exercise. It doesn't make a lot of impact. Low impact exercises don't make a lot of impact on strength building. But it's intermediary. It's in between at least. I was feeling some improvement in my knee pain with bicycling. I'm like, "Oh, I got knee pain, I got to fix it with more bicycling." That's not the case. It's only intermediary. It's like the ultimate exercise to get on your knees and squat, especially with a resistance strap. None of that knees over toes guy. That guy's a wimp. I mean, he's got a big thing going for himself at least. He's popular. He got on what, Joe Rogan or something. He got popular, but from what I see on his suggestions for knee squats, he's a young guy who still doesn't quite get it as far as I'm concerned, because knee squats need resistance. Whether you're holding weights or a strap, putting a strap. And I don't like holding straps. I made a couple early on for knee strap squats. I had a couple where I would just hold it with my hands. It's not a wraparound. And I don't like that. I don't want to have to use my hands to resist against for knee squats. I like wrapping my knees with something that's more solid. But you know, when you choose something that's solid, and yeah, Mike Stevens is probably the healthiest guy out of all of us here with his lifestyle. If he does serve other men, you do get a valuable exercise being on your knees. Something that a lot of people will take for granted. I took for granted for 40, for my life. And now I'm realizing that you could get a lot of value out of knee squats. And it's something that you replicate from the leg extension exercise. Something I didn't realize. But adjusting the length is kind of a big deal. Because I've got fixed straps. I use my speedy stitcher and sew straps together. Poop squatting is the woods. I can't, when I go into the woods, I much prefer leaning against a tree. Otherwise, I have to take my pants completely off if I'm going to do a full squat. And I don't even, they say you squat your butt like inches above the ground or something. I can't do that. No, I prefer leaning against a tree. When I was in the desert, that was impossible. But now that I'm getting further east, I mean, I'm in forests all the time now. I'm surrounded by forests everywhere I look here. It wasn't like that in the desert of the Southwest. Yeah, you want to find a decent tree and find the place where it's isolated too, where people aren't going to catch you. But sometimes you got to go on a culvert or whatever, and it's a matter of clearance. I don't have to worry about clearance if I can lean against a tree. But if I can't find a tree, then clearance is very important. The pants have to like come completely off for full, so I can guarantee clearance. But yeah, squatting on the knees is something. Collagen might help rebuild the joints. Yeah, I need collagen. When I reach 50 years old, I'll have lost 25% of my collagen. There was some kind of food source they said that provides a lot of collagen. I forget what that was. Collagen is just something you lose. You can't really fight it. You lose 25% of your collagen by age 50, and you lose 50% of your collagen by age 70. So that's where you get all your wrinkles and all that, and you just can't fight it. The collagen just doesn't want to stay. Your body doesn't have the ability to keep the collagen, so just gotta watch it go away. Maybe you could slow the loss down, but you're not gonna stop it entirely, as far as I understand. But nope, not for me. It's not about building up collagen to fix my knees. My problem was a mechanical issue, it was a strength imbalance. I thought it was for life. I thought I was gonna have knee pain for the rest of my life, but it turns out it's a mechanical thing. Once again, like I know that a lot of things a lot of problems are brought on mechanically, and the knee pain was another one. I didn't need knee surgery for this. I just needed to do more. I needed to change how I looked at the strength dynamic of my knee. I needed to look at it in a different way. And boy, I looked at it in a lot of different ways. Even these experts on Instagram and YouTube, they don't know. Even the knees over toes guy doesn't know. He's just a young guy. He's a little unsure of himself, or he should be. He's a little misunderstanding of strength imbalances. Let's see. Zap suggests a bunch of food sources. Collagen. Oh, there's something was said that there's a lot of collagen in it, or helps you digest collagen. There's foods that help you digest particular things better. You don't just rely on the vitamin itself. There's enzymes. There's phytonutrients. There's things that help you digest particular vitamins and nutrients easier and more effectively. That's why getting just a big variety of food in your diet. I fell into a bad habit of eating too many dried foods. Like I'm trying to change that up. Eating foods and then also the smoothies. Smoothies, I think, mess me up. But also the dried foods. A lot of dates. I haven't had a date in months. I'll eat raisins still. I'm trying to cook them more. But the dates, I was going nuts. I was having dates every day. And I think that messed up my burping, my stomach. I was just they're so easy to turn to, so sweet to chew on. But I'm getting away from them. But I still have the permanent well, is it permanent damage? Because that's the thing. I have some hope that maybe I could fix my burping problem. If I can fix my knee pain, then I can maybe fix my burping problem too. Bone broth. Bone broth is such a new fad. When did you first start hearing about bone broth? It's been around for a while, but it was being really pushed by Alex Jones for a while. I don't really tear up any animals' for their food source anymore anyway. So I don't really get into the whole animal tissues for nutrients so much. It's just so hard. I could keep these eggs. Look at this. I can keep these eggs in the sun. All right, I got eggs in the sun. All right, I can't do that with chicken or fish or beef. Just let them sit in the sun for as long as I feel. I can't do that. Eggs are easy to do, and kind of the milk too. I can't refrigerate, so meats are scary. I could cook these eggs and let them sit in water for, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 days, maybe longer, and they're fine. I do that with meat. Meat does not become out fine. Meat will change in taste and likely just straight up go bad anyway, but eggs not so much. I'm not as scared of unrefrigerated eggs as much as I am unrefrigerated meats. So there's a big difference there. I used to have dates every day. Dates are just they're just not good. I'm done with dates. They're easy to turn to if you want to give into an addiction. It's almost like eating sugar extracts. 10-year in a car with no... I got coolers I can put ice in, but I don't have a refrigerator. Yeah, my lifestyle is revolved around living without the refrigeration. Haven't used a microwave in years. I'm trying to adjust my lifestyle or adjust my eating for this lifestyle. Try to and I can't really I'm not doing a good job maximizing food storage or anything. I have to buy food often, every day. I'm in the store every day. People talk about going to the woods and just live, you live more free in the woods, but my supplies run out in practically hours compared to, for the room I have. So, yeah. And my movements, my diets, eggs, yeah, you don't have to refrigerate eggs. If they're out of the chicken, they're good for, the eggshell has to last at least a month naturally. So, Zap is 20 years old. Oh, in 20 years. You haven't used a refrigerator? Yeah, I don't use a refrigerator and spent half that time. Yeah, it's not really all that needed. You can live without it. It's easier to live without in the winter time. Last night things froze all around me. My milk froze and everything froze around me, but I kept warm enough with enough insulation. I'm the one who needs insulation in the winter time, but in the summertime my food needs the insulation. And I'll buy ice, but yeah, I haven't gotten ice in a long time. Haven't needed to. It's kind of natural refrigerant conditions. Yeah, my eggs do freeze, frozen, uncooked. They'll freeze. But I'm gonna get further south to prevent that. So find warmer places. Like in the summertime, I would want to exercise early in the morning, kind of late in the evening, but the mosquitoes push me inside my car. But in the winter time, I wait till about midday to exercise when it's at its warmest. The seasons really change the times that I want to exercise. Yeah, I'm scared of some of the stuff that I might have hidden in my car that's been sitting in here for far too long. I got an ant colony in my car that I haven't been able to clean everything out to find. They go, when it warms up, they go after my honey. This honey right here, keep it right here. If it's a warm day, the ants will start surrounding the honey. And I don't know where they're coming from exactly. I hope they don't have a queen. That's all I can say. I've been to Arizona. I know Arizona. I'm looking eastward. I know the whole western half of the country. Well, a lot of the western half of the country. I've missed out on a lot. But I want to check out the east half a little bit before I go west. Just straight going south is a relief. Yeah, the ants are moving things around, that's for sure. I don't think they're taking things and throwing them out of the car like as I would want to happen. I think they're arranging things that are already in the car to suit themselves. But they're not making a lot of noise, at least. They're very quiet. Uh, so yeah, it's the knee exercises. It's just like it's amazing to me. The things that I need to know are not talked about. At least the things that I need to know are something that are held back until I'm willing to pay the doctors when I need to get knee surgery or go talk to a physical therapist. The, I bet maybe there's that chance where as soon as I have to pay for a physical therapist, or if I'm willing to pay for a physical therapist, um, like then they'll be like, oh, you should have been doing this type of exercise. I pay them like what $1,000 an hour, and that's when the information is brought to me. It's not information that is brought for free, from all my searchings on Instagram or just the internet in general. Or it takes me a long time to realize it on my own. But it's information that's like they're like, oh, we've done several studies on this and we found that yeah, knee squats do help. That they don't just bring forth that information voluntarily. That's the stuff that I have to find out the hard way. In my 40s, I have to actually have developed the knee pain and then suffered for a while to realize the therapist better look like Melania. Yeah, the physical therapists generally have to. It's like a body. It's kind of like almost a beauty contest for them. They have to look healthy to get good customers. Would you trust an obese physical therapist? Somebody who's supposed to be a health expert. um, Let me just. What is going on over here? She said, oh, it's maybe because it's so cold out. Her door's not shutting. She's struggling with her door. And I thought I was going to have problems. But it should be all warmed up enough to the point where things aren't sticking. Because the frost on my windshield is gone now. Yeah, go help. Do you need help? I don't. Yeah, I know, Cunt, you would do that. You would be very helpful. That's my problem. I don't do that kind of. I don't volunteer because I'm very unsure of myself. Look at that, she's gonna try to shut her door and it won't stay shut. And that's, I've had that problem myself. It's a cold issue. But it's not that it's warmed up enough. I don't understand. What could I do better that she's not already done? Oh, it's like a screwdriver. What do you do with the screwdriver? Because all I would do is she bent it into a fit. Yeah, there's might be some problem with now that she's been slamming it. It's not being cooperative. It's stuck in a position in a frozen position. I don't know. All I know is that when it's a cold issue for me, and it just needs to warm up more. And I don't want to be one to walk over and be like, yeah, you got to put hot water on it or whatever. It's right in the sun. We got the sun warming things up, so I think it's probably just it's a heat issue. So I'm gonna stop recording there. Not really doing much. But yeah, helper show locking mechanism. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, you gotta throw some warm water on there somehow. Yeah, it's a cold issue. Locking mechanism. The cold has just stiffened things up, but I mean, things are warming up. It's gonna improve at some point. Yeah, just put some warm water on it. Okay. Well, whatever. Things are warm. My car should start up anyway at this point. It's getting, yeah, it says 51 on my cold thing. So I'm gonna, it says 51 for my temperature here, but it's probably more like 30. Things are warming up. We're in, yeah, it feels warm on my window. So I mean, yeah, things are warming up, thawing out. So I'm gonna stop this here. 11, jeez.